Hey everyone, I hope you're doing well. Again, I know that's not true for everyone, but it is for you. I just want to invite you behind the scenes a little bit at storage. We've had to make some adjustments and changes, and it's definitely a work in progress. It's not where I'd like it to be, but it is functional and operating so that we can serve. And we just finished up another week during this pandemic of being able to serve our friends in need. And I just wanted to give you a little bit of a look at what's been happening, and then share with you a little bit else about kind of an ongoing need. And I know this might take a little bit longer than normal, and so I ask that you bear with me. And if you don't have the time right now, please come back and watch it a little bit later. But so we've been serving throughout this pandemic, and we've been making sure that we come out and serve breakfast. It's always been our joy to serve breakfast because it gives some folks something to look forward to. I have no idea what the night's been like, whether it's been cold, dark, chaotic, stressful, scary, whatever it is, but we know that joy comes in the morning, and we want to be able to give somebody something to look forward to. And breakfast is one of those things that's actually impossible to skip because whatever you eat first, that's breaking the fast. So since it's impossible to skip, why not eat it when it's best for you at the start of a day? And we're hoping to help people get reconnected to the world around them, not disconnected. We don't want to further that disconnection, and we want to help people kind of get in sync and in line. So we serve breakfast early, and we want to encourage people to get an early start to get after whatever they're going. But we also know that right now we're serving a role as critical information. We traditionally do that anyway, but it's become even more important to make sure people know the latest expectations as far as social distancing and face masks and all sorts of things like that. We want to make sure that we keep people as current as we can so they don't feel blindsided as much as they already do. So when people come here, the first thing they see is they get a reminder of what today's date is. They get a chance to get a little scripture on their heart. They get a menu of things, and then also just that simple reminder, please keep 6 feet apart. We want to make sure people know what the expectation is and be consistent so that when they go someplace else, they're not shocked or caught off guard. We also, in addition to giving hot breakfast, which we keep warm in our bag over here, we want to make sure that people are equipped for the day. And we've been really blessed with our friends from First McKinney and other folks that have donated some items that are non-perishable that we can keep here throughout the week. We do have a refrigerator, actually we have two, that we're able to keep the sandwich meats proper until they get given out. But we want to make sure people get blessed with a sack. And it's cool that these sacks are as unique as the person that they get them. They come with a message and some artwork. We really appreciate the attention to detail that folks get. And then that way they don't have to worry about finding food later in the day. They don't need to make an unnecessary trip, that they can do their best to kind of shelter in place as they're able to. So we're honored to be a part of that. But we also know that staying healthy, part of that is hygiene. And many of the things that people traditionally have access to are closed, public restrooms and things like that. There are some bathrooms that people can get to, but it's a little bit more difficult, and the ability to even get clean is more difficult. So what we offer each person, and when they come, is we've found this product called a body wipe. It's a shower and a wipe. It's antibacterial, and it also doesn't leave that sticky residue like a Lysol wipe might do. So we want to make sure that people can get clean, safe, healthy, clean, and feel good. I mean, there's nothing like the real thing or a great shower, but in the meantime, that there's an option in between. We're definitely giving people a chance to actually sit and eat when they're here, but we've set them up 6 feet apart. You may have seen a photo or two, and we spray them down every single time after each use, even if it just gets touched by accident. And then we also have plenty of Lysol wipes. We actually wipe people's phones off because people want to get their phone charged. So we have a charging station right over here, and we wipe their phones down so that it's also just a good practice anyway. Your phone is a petri dish if you didn't know that. So we want to make sure that they get wiped down and get cleaned every single time. And then while a person's here, we want to make sure that they get treated as the unique person that they are. So that's what I love about the bags. Then we serve coffee, hot coffee, and we put their names on it. Everyone's beloved. But we have options for people like you might like. We put creamers, we got French vanilla, we got regular half and half, we have sugar, we got all the sweeteners. And so what's been kind of cool is because we've changed up a little bit, we traditionally like to serve people and have a seat anyway, but we got more specific about knowing exactly how people like to have their coffee made. So I can tell you that a person that I know Ken loves his sugar and French vanilla. I know that Pronte just wants French vanilla. I know that Duran likes butter cookie when we have that, or one of the other flavored creamers, and some others like it black, some like sweet and low, some like equal. So it's been cool to get a little bit more personal with people through all of this and get to know their individual stories. And people love it when their coffee is made before they even ask the way they like it, because now they feel like they're known. And when a person feels known, they feel loved. And that's our goal. Our goal is to make sure every single person that comes through here is reminded that they matter, because they do. And the best way to express how somebody matters or how much somebody matters is that you love on them, and you pay attention to details, you pay attention to things they care about. And that's what storage even birthed out of, is being able to provide a safe place for people to keep their things. And when you care about what other people care about, they tend to care about what you have to say. There's a saying that's often attributed to John Maxwell. I'm not sure if that's where I learned it initially, but it just goes simply this: people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And so through this pandemic, we want to let people know that they still matter, that we still care. And we've seen a lot of kind of pushback too. Not everybody wants to social distance. It's something that we've kind of set up as a society ourselves. If people don't normally get talked to, why would they all of a sudden listen now? So that's sort of like, why would I listen to you telling me what to do now if you don't listen to what I have to say when things are normal? So we're kind of overcoming that obstacle. So I hope that that's an encouragement to you, that when you're out and about, that you don't dismiss anybody. I know right now you can't, right? And I hope that's part of what carries over from this coronavirus, that the social distancing or physical distancing forces you to be aware of your neighbor. But I hope that when that's lifted, that you're still aware of your neighbor, that you still know that they matter. Right now, when somebody's near you, you don't care what their bank account says, you don't care who their parents were, you don't care what languages they speak, you don't care where they were born, you don't care about their education, you don't care about all those things. And that's how we should be in love. We shouldn't care. We shouldn't have any prerequisites when it comes to loving on somebody. And I hope that piece carries over. In fact, I'm confident that's part of God's plan in all of this, is to get us to be more aware. And he's kind of stopped us in our tracks and kind of caught our attention and say, hey, you need to pay attention to your neighbor, because they matter. They matter. And we want to make sure that people, when they come here, that they know how much they matter. And so these items that we're able to give out, brand new socks. I want to give a shout out to Streetside Showers for blessing us with some of their overflow in socks. I also give out hygiene kits. This is a shout out to Metro Relief when they had a big overflow, that they gave them to us. And our hygiene kits, which is awesome, and we're happily blessed to be prepared for this, came with hand sanitizer. So all of our guests get their own hand sanitizer, and we try to remind them and encourage them that they should use that frequently. And we'll give these out to people as they need it. We want to make sure people can stay safe, healthy, and clean. And we're using purified water. We're making sure that we use safe serve practices when we're distributing food or anything. But we always purchase it, so that way we don't have to worry about how it was handled, unless it's a non-perishable item, something that's considered safe already. So we're taking all the measures that we can to make sure that it's a safe process. Now here's the other side of it. As we increase our service, our costs go up. Right? This storage unit, as blessed as we are, it isn't free. We have a couple of other storage units here as well that we use for different things, particularly for storing people's items, storing our shelter items and stuff like that. And those comes with a cost. And so we're honored to invest and spend in people, but we can't do it without you. And I was thinking about how Paul talks often about we are many parts but one body, and Jesus is the head. We are the body, and we often use the phrase that we should go out and be the hands and feet. And I'm so grateful that I get to be hands and feet at times, but the hands and feet can't do much without the core of the body. We need the heart to pump the blood. We need the lungs to breathe air. We need the intestines and everything to ingest and digest food so to convert into energy. So what I'm saying is basically, if you can't be out and be the hands and feet at any time, you can still be the heart of the body, the core of the body, and make a difference. And one of the great ways that you can do that is through donation. You hear me joke and say the best nation in the world is donation, and I mean that too. I think it is. But giving money allows you to have an impact even when you can't be present. And one of the things that we want to do is honor your gift. Now, I tell you that just like anybody else, I struggle with pride. I love helping. I struggle to ask for it. But right now, I just want to appeal to your heart to consider supporting me personally. I am the only staff technically right now. I would love to have more staff. I just don't have the funds to offer anybody a salary. And one of the reasons why I can't is I can't really take a full salary myself. I'm actually at a crossroads right now where my wife and I, we have a daughter. We'd like to have more kids, and we have a medical bill and other expenses that have kind of mounted up on us. And I am really faced with a crossroads about having to get a full-time job outside of ministry. And my hope is that I can find something that allows me to continue to serve, to continue to keep Emmanuel Labor going. As far as the direct services we're good there. We're able to pay for these storage units and the costs that come with that. But as far as me being able to make a full-time commitment to this is in jeopardy. It's been in jeopardy for a little while. You may remember we did a fundraiser called the Emmanuel Labor 500, and that was fun and exciting, and I'm so grateful for everybody that got involved and contributed to it, but we fell well short of the goal. Our big goal was to raise $10,000 a month so that we could actually move into a permanent structure along with that. But included in that goal was actually a full-time salary for myself. And I hesitated to share that because I didn't want it to be about me. I never want it to be about me. That's why it's called Emmanuel Labor. It's his name. It's the name we give to Jesus, the God with us. And I still want it to be about him always. But in order to be here full-time, I do need a full-time income. And I'm sure you know that it costs money to live, and there are bills to pay and things like that. And I just want to appeal to your heart to consider supporting me and my family. I'm so grateful for all of you that have been so generously and consistently since we started, even before I was here in other ministries. Many of you have been with me for a long time, and I can't thank you enough. And I can tell you that there is no gift that's too small. I was honored that for a season, a college student was giving $20 a month. That I know when I was in college, that was a lot of burritos that I wasn't sacrificing. So I was really, really honored for that gift. I know another senior that was on a fixed income that was giving $10 a month. I love it. We have a gift that comes in at $6 a month. I love that. There's no gift that doesn't matter. But if I'm being fully transparent, I need gifts that mount up to that. But I love it when it's many people coming together for one big goal. It's a united front. And I appeal to you as individuals often more than I would appeal directly to a church. Not because I wouldn't take support from a church, but it's you, the individual, that I'm looking to connect with. It's you, the individual, that I want to connect with the individuals that are coming here. And I just feel that it's a beautiful thing when individuals help individuals, when families help families. So that's my appeal to you. And if you would like to consider a donation, there's 3 ways you can give. You can mail it to P.O. Box 2735, McKinney, Texas 75070. You can go online to emmanuellabor.org/donate and then follow the links there, or you can simply text Emmanuel Labor as one word to the number 77977, and you'll get a prompt back and to a link, and it's all safe, secure giving. It's a very, very reputable platform that I use, and it's very simple to use. And you can decide how you'd like to give. You can give one time, you can give on a recurring basis, which I appreciate so much because that allows me to budget better. And you can set it up for once a month, every other week, however you feel led, and you can even choose which day of the month you'd like to give on. So I want to give you all those options and just let you know that I would love to be able to continue to do full-time, but I know that I can only do it with your help. Otherwise, I will be looking at other work. I am already looking to try to find it. I'm praying. It's God's will. If he wants me in a different season, that's up to him. But I felt compelled that I should reach out and just ask. because I know that it takes a lot of courage to ask for help. It also takes a, I'm waiting for that truck to go by. All right. It takes a lot of courage to ask for help, and I'm so in awe of the people that come and ask for help, because I know that wasn't easy. I know that took a lot of swallowing their pride when people kind of show up to an outreach and say, hey, I can't do it on my own. And so I'm in honor of them asking and taking that courage. I want to ask you, I can't do it on my own. I truly need your help to keep going. I hope that you find some room in your budget. I know things that are tight, it's really difficult, but if everybody gave that watches these about $10 a month each, we'd actually reach the goal. I know that's not going to be the case overall. One of the most common amounts that people give is somewhere between 50 and 75, around there. But whatever feels led. There are bigger gifts, there are smaller gifts. Again, no gift is too small, and definitely no gift is too big either. But I can't do it without you. So I just thank you so much for the time and attention and the support. And one of the things that I kind of focus on too throughout all of this is one less, just one less. People kind of ask me a lot, like, what is your measuring tool? How do you know how well you're impacted? And and other people kind of say, why McKinney? Because there's a greater need in Dallas or New York. And each individual that comes to me, they feel that their need is pretty great, that their situation is pretty important. And I have found too that many of the people I've met in New York, in Dallas, and in other cities that I've been to are from the surrounding area. And if we can do a better job of meeting people sooner, we're going to reduce the amount of time that they experience homelessness. We're going to reduce the amount of strain that it puts on the society as a whole, as going to emergency rooms and ambulance calls and a lot of expense that comes along with it that could be prevented. And so that's been the heart behind starting here in McKinney, is to try to establish a model of serving that is more as preventative as it is corrective, as much of a stopgap measure as it is to build people up. We get to do both here, and my hope is that what we do, like storage and anything else, is scalable and repeatable. So that's the sort of the pragmatic side of it, where we're working on strategy to see how can we bless the surrounding towns and other communities, because there are more cities across the nation like McKinney than there are like New York and Dallas. They need help too, and I think that we can help them by alleviating some of the drift that comes from the surrounding area. And then those big cities can be more generous with their dollars per person, because there's less people coming there, because we're doing a better job on these perimeter cities. So I hope that appeals to your heart. I hope you see that we get people back to paying taxes instead of draining taxes, if that's what you connect with. There's all sorts of reasons for doing the ministry right here in a city like McKinney, and I'm confident that it is a healthy strategy that's going to bless everybody involved, especially the person that's experiencing homelessness. And I want to wrap up with this last piece. I know it's been a long video, but I want to wrap up with this last piece. Because of this pandemic, there are more and more people that are losing their jobs. It's near Great Depression measures. Now, I know that the situation's different and that this should be a briefer season, but even in that season that somebody's going through homelessness, even if it's one day, it's too long. And it's heartbreaking to see that new people are coming, but I'm also really grateful that they're finding us, and they're finding some stability. They're finding a place where they feel safe, that they can spend a little time with other people. And then the best part about this is that today, my friend Lauren, who I met through our cold weather shelter, who I'll never forget, she came in and she was just in awe that we treated her with such individuality. We put her name on things instead of a number on things. She loved that she was being treated as Lauren as opposed to just a number. Well, today, she and her son are moving into their new apartment. Yes, they're no longer homeless today, and that is thanks in part to you. So thank you so much for everything that you've done to help encourage me to support her so that in this journey, and she's earned it, she's worked her tail off to save up for her deposit, and so has her son. I'm not taking anything away from that, but be able to be here and be support for them. And she shared with me, she's like, is it okay if I still come for breakfast even though? I said, absolutely. So I'm so thrilled that she's coming back and she's going to continue to spend time with us, because this is about community, not about charity. Yes, we're charitable, but it is about community first. We want to bring people together, and that is where we want to always keep our focus. It's just loving people. And so I'm going to close with my cheesy line. Here it comes, but I hope it sticks with you throughout your whole life. Remember, no matter where you are, no matter when you are, love the one in front of you. Thank you so much for your time. I love you guys. Take care.